Good morning, everybody. This is our astrology weather forecast for October 16th, 2025. And we've got some interesting layered aspects today. Moon comes into Virgo 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So that's the undercurrent of perfection, getting things straightened up. This is where we turn our eye and our attention to detail. This is where we get things tightened up. So we seek to organize. We're seeking to find balance and relief through sorting and organizing and making sure everything is put in its place. That's what brings that sense of comfort with Moon coming into Virgo. It's very different from the overlay of aspects. So we have what I call a riptide when we have this kind of thing going on, because we'll have an undercurrent that's one way, and we have an overcurrent that's another way, and there's this shearing effect, or this one like working against the other. So it shows up very much like the energy of a in conjunction. It's like a paradox that we have to negotiate. So we have this undercurrent of orderliness and seeking to gain comfort or security through making sure everything is in its rightful place, right? We get all OCD with the moon coming into Virgo. But then we have this dumb warm water. We have this lukewarm overcurrent that is very interesting because we have the sun coming into a square to Jupiter, Mercury coming into a sesquiquadrate to Neptune, and it's in play tomorrow too. So it's coming in today. So today and tomorrow, it's a thing. So the expectation that we're going to land on our feet is very high with the sun in a square to Jupiter. That is supported by the lack of realistic assessments that we will immediately come to with a Mercury and a sesquiquadrate to Neptune. We tend to believe our own mind, our own what we need to believe, whatever that is, our own assessments of things. That's what we struggle with Mercury, Neptune, hard aspects. And as we get older, hopefully we will see that what we think may not actually or always be in tune with what is real. With a sesquiquadrate, we may not realize that we don't have a correct interpretation until we're right at the end, or until we have encountered some kind of failure. Probably not obviously catastrophic because it is a minor aspect, but it can lead to something that causes a division, a lack of intimacy that we're really looking for. That's what Pisces really ultimately is about, is an ultimate connectivity. And that can be we can find a failure of that because we have the small mind, the monkey mind coming into things. And also Mercury is compromised by the influence to Neptune. We always have two potentials with every sign and every planet. Mercury just wants to see the facts. And when it's in an hard aspect to Neptune, we want to see the best facts. So the monkey mind gets more cloudy when we have Neptune in the mix. Sun in a square to Jupiter can make us overestimate ourselves, our abilities, our muscle, our capabilities. And sometimes this can be fabulous. It can work in our favor because we will assume the best and we will go for the best and we will operate in accordance to the expectation that we are going to arrive where it is we want to be. That's Jupiter stuff. And this can be exactly what we need sometimes. Other times, it's going to lead us right off the cliff. And we won't notice that until we're flying through the air. It depends on how it strikes your chart, um, what exactly is going on. For the most part, with the hard aspects between Sun and Jupiter, we too tend to embarrass ourselves. There is a lack of restraint that reveals our impulsiveness. And we learn that, oh, wait, more doesn't always serve us. Faster, first, that's not always in our best interest. But with Sun Jupiter, see, we're filtering through the super ego. We're filtering through the assessments we give to things because it's in service to our idea of how we are ultimately more right or in the correct philosophy or point of view. So we all embarrass ourselves equally if we haven't really embraced the truth that every single person hallucinates their reality. It's the way the brain works. And as you go through life and you develop more humility, it makes it easier to not believe your own mind and to question what you assume is real because you've learned through experience that you can be a stupid dumbass. And to the degree that we don't know that about ourselves, that we don't realize that the the way that self views are world views. World views are self views. And to the degree that we don't accept that is the degree that we will act in a way that furthers the superego, the agenda of the superego, because that's Jupiter and it's inflated by a square to the sun. See, they're both fire signs. And the assessment of the ego being more right, that's elevated by a square. Squares indicate a type of conflict that we have to negotiate our way through. So for some of us, some extra wind in our sails and extra hot air in our hot air balloon, that is going to serve us. But we want to be careful about what we believe. And we can actually get more out of the sun square to Jupiter by putting our back and our muscle into what is inspirational, more closer to home. Look around at what's unfinished. Look around at what makes your life worth living, but it just needs that extra push. And if we choose to direct our conscious willpower, consciously direct our willpower and our capabilities to what we see as positive for everybody, like everybody does get to win because we're not choosing to go into conflict. That's when we can really get the best out of this. So if there's something that needs fixing, something that needs painting, something unfinished, piece of poetry half written, this would be a good day to work on that. Alrighty, guys. I will catch you later.